So Tencent dropped their latest model Hy3 Preview, and a lot of people don't know about it, but it's easily accessible across OpenRouter. I've been using OpenRouter and I've been testing it from past couple of days across different tasks that we generally do. And there's so many different capabilities, and the compute costs that it has are very less as compared to any other large language model. So if you are somebody who is looking forward to explore this model, I've already done that for you. You can watch this video till the end and try setting it up yourself. It's very easy, very comfortable, and I'll show you across different tasks how it is performing. For more details, you can check out the link in my description wherein you can go and access it on OpenRouter. So let's start with basics first. Hy3 Preview is the latest large language model by Tencent, and I'll show you why it is so important and what all capabilities it has, why it is taking a lot lesser compute and inference as compared to other large language models, because it is based upon something specific. But let's talk about some numbers, right? You can, I'm there on Hugging Face and I've just opened Hy3 Preview. So this is basically a 295 billion, it has 295 billion total parameters, but the activated parameters at any point of time is 21 billion. So what does that mean? So it is basically there's basically a concept of mixture of experts. For example, if at all you want to get something specialized done, so a specific number of parameters would be required to do that. So at any point of time, not all the 295 billion parameters are activated, only 21 billion parameters are activated. So in this model, we are getting knowledge and representational capacity of something massive, but the inference comes to very low cost. So this basically is the core promise of mixture of experts, and Hy3 is one of its implementation that is accessible easily now. Also, if you see, right, the context window is 256K. That means it is able to handle large documents, large code bases, or even extensive conversation histories across different things. For example, if you're a developer, right, you would work on large code bases and large documentation you would need, and you would need to have that context. So I think this is something that's very infra ready for you. So you can see more things, like some of the highlights. It can do a lot of STEM and reasoning tasks. It can do context learning, instruction following, code, and agents. So you can see a lot of other parameters also as compared to Kimi K2, DeepSeek V3, GLM 4.5, and Hy3 Preview base. So these are some of the benchmark results in terms of activated parameters, in terms of total parameters. So this kind of gives you a picture. So you can see STEM and reasoning, it has performed considerably well in a lot of places, in context learning and reasoning also, code and agent also. So these are some of the capabilities as compared to, let's say, Claude or Kimi or other models that are available in the market. So most of the models think however they think, and we don't have a say in how much computation is taken while that reasoning. Now you can see it has 3 basic reasoning modes. Like this is the code snippet on how to start. There's no think, low, and high. So when you say no think, it is like default direct response you get. One is low, and high is like if you have a deep chain of thought. So you can toggle and you can change the reasoning effort, so that will in turn impact the compute that it takes and can save you a lot of money. So what are these thinking modes basically used for? For example, no think mode would be used for something that's already available. For example, if you want to write a boilerplate code or something that's already available, if you want to ask something or if you want to document something that is already available, you can use no think mode and it will use less compute. Low reasoning is basically in the middle of high and no think. It can do some tasks but not a lot of deep thinking, but still it gives very good results for not so heavy complex tasks. But yeah, if the task is in between no think and high. For high, it's basically very high complex tasks, and it goes slow and you get step by step information and it breaks down each and everything. So if you're a developer, there are so many complex high level tasks that you can give to, like you can toggle this reasoning effect and you can make sure that what compute you are using and what is the effect of it. I think making that call yourself, that is very rare now. So now let's put it to actual test. I am there on OpenCode. Within OpenCode, I have loaded this model. So I've chosen Hy3 Preview. So once I chose Hy3 Preview, and now I'm giving it a task which is a bit complex in terms of I'm giving it a text in which there are schedules of different people across different across the company, and they have their availabilities at different times. Now I want to help me with the schedule so that there's no conflict of schedules between different people, and this kind of becomes tough for different models, right? I'll show you what I mean to say. So yeah, you can see this is the data that I've given. There's so many people name who's have different timelines for different things, and I'll give a simple prompt again. Let's see if it's able to do that. I'll give this prompt. Now this is a relatively complex task because maybe the start date of somebody depends upon the schedule of somebody else. So there's a lot of dependency. The exact timelines for this project and assign the task to each employee. I've given this prompt, I've given the context above, and make sure the task assigned is in accordance to employee availability. Create an HTML timeline so that I can present it. So I'll just give this task and see what happens. So it's first extracting the exact timelines for, you can see how it is thinking. And this is a very simple task that I've given. So I'll keep on increasing the complexity of the task and see what how does Hy3 performs. Let me go through by section, hard deadline, meeting dates. So you see how the way it is thinking, right? Phase 1 is integration testing, phase 2 is QA, then it's front end work, then it's staging, then it's smoke test, UAT, final fixes, production deploy, and I've asked it to create a nice looking HTML wherein I can see each and everything. Let's see what it creates. So I can see it has not taken a lot of time, but I can see the phase timeline, and there's some HTML it has created. Let me just try going to this HTML and see. Yep. So this is the timeline it has made. It has made an HTML, and based upon the availability of different people. For example, there were so many people. There was a project manager, lead engineer, backend dev, QA dev, front-end lead, product owners, identified risks and mitigation, new mod, like it has written that. Also the schedule, right? If we start from 28th May, from what all timelines can be there for the project, and this is done very easily. It was a complex task, not very complex, but still it was able to handle it. Now let me put in and give it a even harder task, but this is something that's very impressive. So I made an interface where I can, let's say, upload files for checking on my Hy3 preview. So I've made an interface where I can upload files for the second task that is a bit more harder, where I am uploading Tencent's reports. So these are the 3 Tencent reports from the past 3 years, right? So I've simply uploaded these PDFs. Yeah, so 3 PDFs are uploaded already. Now what I'm trying to do is, so these are long financial documents wherein there's so much of data, and I'll ask it to compare all of these 3 and help me with some data points that I would want. So what's the kind of prompt I would give it? So it's again a very like kind of tough task, I can say. Cross-reference key financial metrics across all 3 years, calculate year-over-year changes accurately, identify the core revenue-driving business segments, and present everything as a complete analyst-grade HTML report with structured charts and comparisons. So now I'll just click on send and see what it does. So it is taking some time, but yeah, I can see something. So it has said this report presents a comprehensive cross-referencing of Tencent's financial reports. So I can see some key financial metrics across 3 years, and it has also given me an HTML for core revenue driving segments and with respect to performance and growth, profitability. So it's able to do this complex task also, wherein I uploaded like hundreds of pages of PDFs for Tencent's last 3 years of reports, and I asked it to cross-reference and help me figure out some data. So I'll click on Open Preview. So now this is the HTML version that I've got for the entire comparison across 3 years, like 3 years financial comparison, revenue segment analysis. You can see different charts, bar graphs it has given, and financial health score. So this is how it actually looks like, and it actually works. Now there's one more task that I'm giving it. It's again very complex, wherein I will give it a lot of different names. So this text has a lot of different names. Along with that, it has some other things like a son or a dad or a grandma, but these are different nuances. But I just want to extract the names of individuals from this text. I'll give a prompt with some rules. Again, it comes in the category of a complex task that most of the LLM models would fail. Most of the open source LLM models would fail, but let's see. So I'm giving it a prompt. So I'm asking it to read the text carefully and extract every proper name of the person that appears in it. Rules that it should follow is output the names in the exact order they first appear in. If the name appears more than once, include it once. Do not include relational labels like mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. Include shortened or nickname forms only if that's the name actually used in the text. Output. So I'm giving it very complex task with so many constraints out there. Let's see what it does. I have clicked on send and it's thinking. So now you can see how the way it's thinking. So it's going line by line and figuring out. So it's figuring out if there's any mistake that it made earlier and how it is resolving that mistake. It's checking on all the 4 rules that we gave it, and that too very consistently, step by step. So it's again a matter of how well it's thinking and its thinking capabilities. And I'm just curious about the answer that it gives us. Yep, so we have the final answer. So it gave me 24 names correctly. I counted this before and I've checked with other LLM models also. So it has been able to figure out all of these names correctly. There's no nuance of grandpa, grandma. It has taken care of all the rules, and this is how it actually looks like. So you know, everyone is talking about KiloCode OpenClaw nowadays, and this model supports that as well. I was just configuring my OpenClaw setup. I'll just show you. I was just trying to kind of use Hy3 model, Hy3 Preview for my OpenClaw. So this is my OpenClaw setup. So we'll simply go to the settings and the AI agents. I'm currently using OpenRouter to get the API for Hy3. So I'll click on, so you can see these are the model names. I am currently using this base URL from OpenRouter, and the ID I'm using is Tencent Hy3 Preview, and the name of the model is Tencent Hy3 Preview. So this model, this is the new session on OpenClaw. So now I'm running it using OpenRouter, and the model that I'm using is Hy3 Preview. So I'll try giving it a simple question. For example, maybe what is the most important thing for AI builders in 2026? Given a very random generic question, let's see what it answers. So it's looking out for most important thing for AI builders. The most important thing for AI builders appears to be ability to clearly communicate product intent rather than just the ability to write code. So it has given me the answer. You can keep on conversing, and your OpenClaw also works perfectly with Hy3 Preview. This is what I've tested, but might not be true for all the use cases. But the ones that I've tested, it makes sense for them. Now, coming on to who this model is actually for, right? Somebody who is building agentic applications, agentic system, and needs a longer context window. I think that's very, very useful here. Second, if you're a developer working on document-heavy applications like maybe in fintech or legal, I think this model can be used for a lot of different use cases. Third, if you're a bit more cost conscious, we have already talked about mixture of experts framework. So it basically is activating 21 billion parameters at the same point of time, but can give you results that are even comparable with larger models, so that you save upon a lot of compute and inference costs that can save you a lot of money. So all these 3 people are very much liable to use this model. I'm not saying that it is good for all the tasks, but the ones that I mentioned, I think it has been performing really, really good there. And you know, the most important part, you can access it very easily from the platform that you already are using. I've tried using OpenRouter. I'll just show you how this actually you need to use it. So you just need to go to OpenRouter. So I'm at OpenRouter now. So you can look out for models here. So if you look out for models here, you search for Hy3 Preview. So you see Hy3 Preview here. Yeah, so this is the Hy3 Preview model. You can see the total context, performance of Hy3. So the same thing that we saw at Hugging Face. And how can you configure it? So this is the sample code and API for Hy3 Preview. It's very, very simple. You just need to have your OpenRouter API key and the ID for your model that you're using. Currently we're using Hy3 Preview, as I've already showed you in my open code that I configured. So you can simply read through this documentation. I'll give the link to OpenRouter in the description so that you can go and check it out today. And if you do end up testing it today, let me know in the comments below how has been its performance. I'm still testing it more. I'll come up with maybe some similar video very, very soon. This was it for this particular video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any doubts, and make sure you like this video. And if you're new to this channel, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel for more such content coming ahead.